So basically what we will doing today, just I will not write the logic in my trigger class on the trigger, right? So what we will do, we will just create an service class where we put our logic, and from trigger we will just call our method.
Okay.
Okay. And so as discussed last day, what we want to do, that we want to create an means we will create an field on account which says that total number of accounts associated with that account. Okay. So for
Mhm.
example, if I have 10 accounts, 10 contact with one account, so it will show 10 account, sorry,
Mhm.
10 contact. Okay.
Mhm.
And if I say, if I delete any one of the contact, so the record will be total 9. If I add any new record of contact there, so it will be again 10. So that whole logic we will be creating today, but we will not write this code of part in this trigger. We will just call our service class. Understood?
Yep.
Okay, fine. So what I will do, I will create a class today. Mm, trigger, trigger helper. Okay. So what we will doing, we will just calling this method. So what I have to do, let me close this and comment hold this code till here. Okay. Let me save this. Anything you say? Okay. So see what I want, I will create a first a method here. Okay. What I will create a method in the class public static update associated associated contact count contact count. Okay.
Mhm.
So what I need here, see, as I told you that from here we just pass trigger dot new, trigger dot old, trigger dot new map, trigger dot old map, right? We have
Mhm.
talked about this. What we have in a trigger, we have trigger dot new, right?
Mhm.
We have trigger dot new, then we have trigger dot old, and you know this variable contain a instance of the record. Okay.
Okay.
And if I say trigger dot old map, so it will be your map of ID and record. Okay. So
Mhm.
what is the type of this trigger dot new? It will be like list of s object. Okay. List of s object, and it will be like, and this old map, when we talk about map, as we know, map is a key value pair, so data will be in this form: id comma
Yes.
s object. Understood this part?
Yep.
If this is clear. Okay. Okay. So now what we are doing, we will just create a, we will just pass this all the data, right? And we know, okay. Okay, so we will means this part is understand na? What I am
Mhm.
explaining to you. So basically what we want, so can you tell me on which object we will writing the trigger? Account or contact?
We are writing it on the contact.
Yeah, because on the insertion or deletion or updation of any contact, we are just updating
The,
account.
yep.
Okay, so we will not put our logic inside this account. What we will do, we will let me create a apex trigger on count contact. Okay. Then we have a contact where it is contact object. This is a contact object. Let me submit this. Okay. And we don't want this account one. See now public static. What let me do this. Okay. So now what we want, as we know, we will get list of contact we will get, right? And what we will get list of, let me con list we will get see what we get here, we will just get trigger dot new, trigger dot old map, trigger dot old, trigger dot old. Four things we get, right? Trigger dot old, trigger dot old map, trigger dot new, trigger dot new map. So say let me say if I pass trigger dot old, so what you understand by this? When I pass trigger dot old, so what type of variable I am describing here?
Trigger dot old.
It will be list of contact only, right? Trigger dot old, because as we know, trigger dot old return type is a list of contact, list of S object. But trigger dot new and trigger dot old difference is that trigger dot old will continue old value data and trigger dot new will continue new value. But difference is similarities, both will be a list of S object only.
Okay.
Understood?
Yep.
Okay. So now I want, let me pass this and let me pass con, let me say new list of contact, let me say con old list. Okay. And let me say list of, sorry, I will not take up, I will take map of id comma map of id comma s subject. S subject is my contact.
Contact.
Let me say old map map. So this is a variable step. Let me put enter to, let me say this like understood. This means we have created this part. Okay.
Yep.
Now what we want, let me say it is a public variable. Okay. Now I want to call this method. So how I am calling this method? I will say trigger. Let me say it will be, let me change here. It will be after insert, right? And it will after delete also. And let me say for after update also. After update. And let me remove this extra. Okay. Now what I want to call this. Okay, I want to call this, but it will be a insert, right? So what I will do, I will call this helper class. Okay, class dot my method name. This is my method name, and what I will do, I will go and this. Okay. Now what I want, I first it will I am saying it is taking a list of new contact. Okay. So where how we pass list of contact, trigger dot new. Understood?
Yeah.
Then we have old one, right? Old one. So what how I'm passing
Trigger
trigger
dot
dot old. Okay. Then what I want trigger dot old map. Trigger dot old map. Then what I will pass trigger dot old map. Okay. Let me see. It is where it is. Okay. Okay. Let me save this. Understood?
Yeah.
Now I'm not writing my logic inside this. I'm not doing any single line of code here. Okay. So if you want to l- put a different logic, so you will create another method here and pass your records value here, and just you will manipulate the data according to your needs. Okay.
Mhm.
Because and it will make you understand also, and it will be a easier way to understand what method is doing which work. Because if you put whole line of code here, it will like a very messy data, means you will not able to understand if you are working with a long means very big projects. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So now, okay, so what I will do basically, now I have to create a list of contact. Okay. So what I will do here, I will create a list of, let me say list of account, list of account, and it will be a ACC ACC list. Okay. New list of account. Okay. And now I want set of ID, right? On which contact, because for taking how we are identifying that contact is associated with account or not. We will
Mhm.
just check account ID on the contact. That's why we will able to know that okay, this account is associated with this account.
Yep.
This contact is associated with this account. If we have second contact and we have that account ID there, so we will just able to understand okay, this contact is related to this account. So for
Yep.
I have for storing that ID, I will create a set of ID to store account ID. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Account ID is equals to new set of ID. Okay. Now this is my new list, right?
Mhm.
This is my new list. So I when the record is inserting, right? When the record is inserting, let me do one thing. So what I will do, if this size, because whenever the user will insert, we will have some size of record, right? Con
Mhm.
dot size, and I have explained you that we have a size method well on the list. If say my size is greater than 0, means the
Mhm.
user inserting something. For what I will do, this I know this is my contact variable con, and this is my new list. Okay. And I will do this, and I will do this. Let me check we have variable, I've created a variable node. Let me go to my account object first. Account, create a relationship, new. Okay. We then have, let me create it where we are storing that number. Okay. So what we'll say number, number is going over. Okay, this is my number, and if I say array, what is total number, total number of contact. On, okay, so let me say I will it not be decimal. Okay, let me say next variable to all account layout. Okay, so we have that account number. Total. Okay, so this is my field which I have created, which I okay, this is a different thing. Okay, so see here now I'm just getting my contact list. Okay, let me is this field and now I have to check whenever the user is creating contact, the user is tagging any account on it or not. So how I will checking that part? If this con, right? We have con in con means contact. In contact, we have account ID or not. So how I will checking account ID not equals to null. So what it verifies that okay, we have some account ID on the contact. Those contact will coming inside this. Okay. So what I will do, I have created a set of account ID. Okay, I will say dot add con dot account ID. This part you have understood now because I am going very slowly because if I go in a fast way, it will be little difficult to understand.
Yeah.
Okay. This part you have understood now what we have done till
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And okay. So now we will get a account ID. Variable does not exist account ID. Okay, let me do public static here. Public static and make this also public static. Okay, so this part we have done, and this logic will be working for the insertion of record because
Yeah.
we are getting a new list.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want if the user updates something, for example user deattach that account, right? For example, I have created a contact. In this contact I put name Dancing Mehra. Okay, that is my account, but after some time I want to deattach that contact from my account. So what I will do, I will just remove that account contact, right? So that so it will be not in that related list. So it can be scenario that when the user can update that contact record also means can deattach that account or can add another account, right? Understanding my point what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, okay, so what I will do, let me close this part now. This is part for insertion we have done. Okay, now the scenario can be user can use old one, right? The user can use old one also means that he can he can update the account. Okay, so what we will be doing, okay, so see now what I will do, I will say okay, just this list is greater than 0. I will copy, I will say if this list is greater than 0, it will be greater than 0, right? And second point is that my that old one also, that this part also should be not null, because whenever the user will inserting something, sorry, updating, that old value should be there, right? So what I will say, this is greater than 0 and not equals to null. Understand? And why we are putting null check here?
So that the old value, we want to check if the old value should not be null, right? So,
Yeah, because in insertion time it will be null, right? Because
mm,
in insertion time we don't have a old value.
mm,
Once the value is inserted on the system, we will have some new value.
yeah.
Okay. So now what I want, if I want to check, if I say, okay, my con list for, I want my con list, contact, con update, con, con update, colon, and we have this l- con size. Okay.
Mhm,
See, now what I want, right? For example, see, if the user insert a record, right? It time it will put some account ID, right?
mhm,
I want to run this logic only when the user changes an account, because update means the user is changing that, doing this updation on the account field, right?
mhm,
In all the field updation, I don't want to run this, because if the user update only the name, it will run that time also. But I don't want to run that time. I want to run specifically this line of code when the account is changed, because we are specifically counting the contact,
mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm checking if this contact which we are having while updating, we are changing any account or not. If we are changing the account, then only this logic should be run.
Yeah.
Okay. So how to check that part? If this con dot account ID, right? We have account ID on this object,
Mhm,
dot account ID, account ID. Okay. Not equals to, and we are having this old map.
mhm.
What old map do? It will give you your old value, right?
Yeah.
So what we will do? Old, old map dot get, and what is your ID? That you have this ID, con dot ID, con dot ID dot account ID. This part you understand or not? Because if you don't means you not understand, just go ahead and ask it out. This line of code you have understood what I have written here.
Con update. Account ID is not
Sorry,
equal
con
to
update.
the old con ID. Okay. We get the con ID. Con. What's the con update? Con update is con update. Dot ID. What is con update? Con
Con
update
update is this variable.
is very good. Dot ID. Dot account ID. Okay. Good.
Okay, so basically what we are doing here, I know I have explained you that in the old map we have this map of ID, comma, contact, right?
Mhm.
We will having like this map if we talk about this old dot map, right?
Yeah.
So I want to get that field name on this account. So how to get, I have explained you that on the when we are talking about collection, how we get the value. For example, if I say my map is 1, comma, Dan,
Mhm.
right? If I want to get Dan value, so how I will be getting? For example, my map variable name is name something. Okay. So
Mhm.
I will be getting map dot get, right? And
Mhm.
what is my key name? 1. So
Yeah.
what I will get? Dan.
Yeah.
Same thing I'm doing here. My map name dot get my key name, that is my key is ID, map of ID and S object, and S
Mhm.
object field name.
Yeah.
Okay. So this part we have done. Now
Mhm.
if this is yeah, this part is changing means something account ID we are storing. So what I will do? I will say okay, copy this part and put my account ID here. Okay. And I will put my account ID, this old one also. Copy, copy, and I will put my this account ID because we are getting this account ID. Let me copy and my do my paste here. So this part we have done for updation. Con is not, wait, seeing line number 27. Okay, it is con update. See, so this part we have done for updation because it will checking that old value and new value, and new value, old value will we are getting only when we are dealing with update.
Right. Okay.
Okay. See, this line of code we have written. Now I want, see, when the record will insert this, it will add my contact to the account. Okay.
Yeah.
If I mean change my account from contact, it will just update, right? For example, in the deleted list, I have a two accounts, two contacts for one account. If I deattach one contact from the account, it will show only one account, one contact, one account. So, right. So this part is covered for updation. Now it can be a condition that the user deletes the data. It deletes to account, right? So that time what we will doing, we will have to cover that logic for the delete also.
Right.
So while you are writing a trigger, na, you have to just take care of all the points. Okay. So that's I'm just covering all the point here. I'm just after insert, after delete, after update. Now this part we have done. This part we have done. Now what I'm doing, let me write if you understand after. Mm, After insert. Okay. This is after insert and it is after update. After update. Okay. And let me run the code for after delete. So how we will be writing a delete code? See, in the delete, whenever we are writing a delete code, so what we are having, that record ID, right?
Yeah. It has the
So
record.
yeah. So whenever you are writing a code for deleting, so we will never use trigger.new. Why we will not use trigger.new? Because trigger.new is used when we are creating the instance of the record. But the record is deleted, so that time we don't have any instance, right? The record will be hold in a old value only. So what I'm doing, delete case, delete case, sorry, delete, after delete, let me say, after delete. So after delete, we will having this old list. Okay. If con.old list dot size greater than 0 and my this old map. I will not deal with the new here. I will say, okay, my old and new, sorry, both old not equals to null. Okay. And I will say, okay, if these are not null, so what I will iterate? I will iterate my old value, not new value, because in the new we don't have that value. Okay. So I will go for contact con, we have old list. Okay. Then we have what we have this value called set id. Okay. So what I will check here, only those accounts should be counted while deletion in which we have any account ID, right?
Yeah.
So I will say count. Let me say after delete also it will count delete count delete. I will say okay when my deletion is performing dot account ID not equals to null. Okay. Now I want to add those accounts. So how I will be adding my account on the list this set. I will okay. Let me add this part dot add and it will my account ID. Okay. So we have covered all the four parts for deletion, insertion, and updation.
Yeah.
Now why we are storing account ID? Can you tell me why we are storing account ID?
Uh, it's- not sure. Yeah.
Okay. So if you we have talked about SQL queries, right?
Mhm.
That time. So I showed you that how we call means how we check inner queries. We talked about inner queries, right? So basically what we want, I want on my account how many contacts are there,
Right. Okay.
right? So basically it is like an inner query only because this is my child, right? Contact
Right.
will be my child because I am tagging that account on the contact object. So it will be like a child inner query means this account will my parent and this contact will my child.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if we want to query your means how many contacts are tagged with my account. So what
It's
I will use my child record means child query.
right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now what I want, I have to loop my accounts. Account account acc dot select id comma. Okay, we have this field. We have created this field. It will come to the picture now. Copy. Because why we are querying this field? Because we have to update on this field only, right? How many
Yeah.
contacts, how many fields we have. Okay.
Mhm.
And from on which inner query we want to check? Contact, right?
Right. Yeah.
Select ID from ID common. Let me take name also from contact.
Right.
Okay. And
Mhm.
from
Right.
account where ID in, and I told you whenever we are using set, so we use this in operator, right?
Right.
Where ID in, and but we have this set, this copy, and I will put here. Okay. So
Mhm.
basically what it will do, it will give me all the contact related to the account. For example, we have 10 account, so it will give me 10 account and 10 account how many contacts are there. This what you understand? Hello.
Mhm. Got it. We got that point.
O- Okay, you got it. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that point. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Then where what we are saying that we are just getting account ID, right?
Mhm.
Now what is saying expecting this, okay, this all from account ID, this contact, okay, from where ID in this 52. We are missing any bracket for account SCC. Okay, it is giving this error. We are missing. This account is we are this missing inside this. Let me close all my brackets. This is closed. This is closed. Okay, okay. So we have to put this part inside my function only, right? We are putting that outside the function. Okay. So so here we are just getting the account data. Okay. It what is saying that now just give me don't and contact. Okay. We have let me check. See if you are getting this type of error, na, what you can do, go to your contact object. Okay, contact. And I told you that we have to check that child relationship when we are querying this. We will go there, contact. We have contact. We will go for account object because we have a lookup on contact. And let me check what is a child relationship name. Okay, see, it is a contacts. Okay, so let me put here contacts. Let me save now. Okay, so this part we have covered. So now what we will get here? We will get a account and number of contact, account number of contact. Like this, we will have a query. If I let me copy this and copy this part, and I put this query here, I will say, okay, okay, let me execute. See, it is what it is showing. One account, then list of contact. It is list bracket, right?
Yeah.
If you see here, it is giving the list one, two. See, one, two. Seeing
Yeah.
means it is understandable, no?
Yeah.
So now I want to update my contact. So let me go to my Apex class. So what I will be getting ACC dot, this is my field, right? This is my field where I have to update my record
Yeah.
and equals to this ACC dot, we have having this context, right? This context will come inside this inner query because we will having that context and account, and we will get a list. As I'm showing to you this, we are getting a list of contacts. Okay,
Yeah.
so what we will do, okay, list of contacts we are getting. I want not to iterate, I want only size, how many contact we have for that account. Okay, if I'm saying okay, no okay, then we have created this account list, right? This account, why I'm adding this to a account list? Because I don't want to perform the loop inside, I don't want to perform the insertion inside the loop. Okay,
Yeah.
so I will do dot add acc. Okay, now I will say if if acc dot size greater than 0, sorry, acc not acc list will be, because it here we are adding inside a list. A list, if it greater than this, then then update my acc list. Update. You understand now what we have written? It is not like I am writing and you're not understanding.
No, no, I understood this one. Yeah.
Okay, so let me test this. Let me see if we have any context, we have any trigger. Let me deactivate those because it will give some other error. We have this 55 validate email on. Okay, I did. It is already deactivated, and we have email added. From now I'm just deactivating this also. Save. Okay, so let me go to any account. You understand now why we are writing this in our service class, that and how we use that context variable in the service classes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to the context. For example, I have this. Okay, let me go to accounts only. Let me create a new account. Okay, testing account, testing account. Okay, let me what we have the. Okay, so if you see, we have total number of count here 0. See, okay.
Yep.
Let me do one thing. Let me create a, go to delete it, and let me create a one contact here. Record one. Okay, and let me save. After insert null point action difference line number 38. 38. Like minute 38, where it is saying 38. Just give me 1 minute. Line number 38. And attempt to define null object. Null object 30, line number 38. And 3, line number 38. Line number 30 is here. Con.mop is not equals to null. Okay, okay. Because we don't have any value. Okay, we don't have any value. Okay. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me see, and we will pass one more thing here. Let me do one thing. Okay. Now save. Okay. So we have created a record on a contact. Okay. If I go to a detail page, if I check, it is 1, right? Because we are inserting a one contact there. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me go to second and let me create a one more record here. Okay. Let me create a Mr. Record 2. Okay. Let me save here. If I go there, detail page, it is 2.
Yep.
Okay, and let me this 2 account I have created, right? And my account name is testing. That testing account. So what I will do, I will do edit and try to update any account, and I will just deattach it. Let me save this. So only one account is there, right? Let me refresh it. Only one should be there. See, only one account is there. If I go to my detail page, so what should be the count? Count should be 1. Okay. If I, so basically for after delete, what we will do, we will just pass a one more parameter from the means we will pass a value here, or we means I want to check only this old map, because old map con, just give me 1 minute. See, old map con, it is giving me the error because while insisting we don't have this value, it is saying null pointer exception. Okay. So we can means old, because it will not have a it on the insertion we don't have this value. Old map will be a null value, no? Because on the insertion we don't have this value. You understanding why it is giving? Because old while insertion we don't have this value, so it is giving me the error. Okay. So what we can do, we will just pass in some other, we will just pass a value here, something that it, let me do one thing. We will just pass a value when we have to add a one more 38 line. The 38 line is 38. Here it is con old list. Mm, we will just pass. We can pass here. It is giving me error. So I will pass something we can pass here to check that when it will run for the delete only. Old map not equals to null. Old is null. What we can pass? Not null. Null now old map. Okay. Dot key. Dot key set. Not null now. No, no. Size greater no old map. Font dot null. What we can add here. After delete 38. Old list after delete we can pass. Okay. Okay. After delete. So what we can pass? We can pass here parameters is insert or delete. Okay. So basically what we can do for now, we are getting con list old map and old what 30 line for deletion contact dot list. So basically now we will means for time being I'm just showing I'm just showing all the scenario in the one go, right? So basically what we will do now here, what we will do, we will just check here. If so basically see what we can do old list old dot size. So basically what I have done, I just put all the logic in the one go, right? So it is working for updation or this. So what we can do, if I comment this code and run this, okay, and try to delete here, let me show this account and go to this part related, and if I delete this, so count will be my 0, right?
Yeah.
Let me see, delete. So I don't have permission to delete the record. So this is some permission that I can't delete the record. But yeah, once you delete the record, now the record which is created, so you can delete that account. All deal means the account will be 0 here. That means if I say let, if I don't have permission to delete, no worries. If I say let me, so count will be my 0 there. If I go to the detail page, let me refresh this. See, it is 0. Understood now how this working? So this part means today we have completed the trigger part. You have any doubt regarding the triggers now?
No. So this is the main methods in class, like all the methods and all those, like
Yeah, basically see,
one.
what I have done. I have just written a trigger, right? So what we will do now means in the business scenario, what we will do, just we create an each and every class, right? Each and in class we create a different methods. In the methods, we just define here that this should return for is insert, it should return for update, right? This check we put, but for up now we have just covered all the part here, so that's why it is means we have written a whole means lots of line of code in a one method only. But this is not means we should not write this, because it will like a means if you want to, you have to specify when does this should means when this trigger should write, which read sorry run. Okay, yeah, you have
So,
any go
yeah,
ahead.
one note which I have done is like, for example, let's say that what we are doing is just a count of the number of contacts. So let's say that if I have a use case
Hmm.
on account object, let's say we have something called a segment type, right? And it has
Segment type, okay.
yeah, something like segment type is it, and it has a pick list value of A, B, C, D, E, five
Okay.
values.
Okay.
Now, if I want to track the movement from A to B, B to C, C to A, like that, right? I know we can use the field history tracking.
Mm-hmm.
But do we also need to use trigger to track it in a more, like for example, I want to have a graphical representation of what timeline and how did it go. Do we use triggers in those scenarios, or triggers we don't really use in those scenarios?
See, basically for means that what you want to you want, if you want to check that what value you have in a previous and what value in a current, right? So basically it is a like case of history tracking only, right? You want to
Mm,
track that field history tracking, that what when the
mm,
state is changing and when what is the value there. So it
yeah.
you will not use this trigger, means you will not use trigger because already there is a standard functionality which can be covered that tracking of fields.
Okay. Tracking of the fields, we don't use triggers.
Yeah, we will not use that part.
It's more like, as you said, right, before insert and after insert, after when you use operates between two objects and before is for one object.
Mm-hmm.
Like that we use it. Okay. And what decision we need to make when we are using trigger versus process builder or flow? Like why should we go with a trigger when some of this can be achieved with process builder or flow? Like what is the difference between these two? Because
See,
yeah.
process means basically now means process builder and trigger are means two different things. When we have a standard means that we if we can cover that standard means, for example, see, if you want to send bulkify mail, right? If you want to send bulkify mail, so we can do that part with the process builder or that flow, but
Mhm,
there have we have a limitations, right? We have a limitation. If I show you the main means what a limitation, for example, we have a scheduler flow because I want after that, after inserting of account means after updating of some field, I want to schedule some class, right? You
mhm,
can do that thing with the flow. Sorry, yeah, you can do with that with the flow also. But in the flow, we don't have a filter criteria on the date basis. We can't put this. For example, if I want to say I want to put a filter where the date is today. When the date is today, just update some record,
mhm,
right? So that filter we don't have on scheduler. Okay. So scheduler say, okay, that point, just put a dummy value, means like this, 12, what, like this. Okay.
yeah.
This filter we don't have. And we have means when we will talk about bulkify thing, it will not work. It because it don't work for a bulkify record. It will give some error.
Mhm,
Okay. And we have means when you want to call API, when you have to call out, right? When you have to do call out. So that time you will not able to use that process builder, the standard functionality, you will not able to get it because on the instance of account you want to send that data to some external system, right? When the record is in certain system, so you can't do that thing with a process builder.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Because we miss trigger part we have covered a lot.